Torah Portion, Vayelech, is Deuteronomy 31, 1 through 30. The Haftarah, or the prophets, is Hosea 14, 1 through 9, Micha 7, 18 through 20, and Joel 2, 15 through 27. So let's begin. And Moshe went and spoke these words to all Yisrael, and said to them, I am 120 years old today. I am no longer able to go out and to come in, and Yahovah has said to me, You do not pass over this Yarden. Yahovah your Elohim himself is passing over before you. He shall destroy these nations before you, and you possess them. Yehoshua himself is passing over before you, as Yahovah has spoken. And Yahovah shall do to them as he did to Siphon and to Og, the sovereigns of the Amorites and their land, when he destroyed them. And Yahovah shall give them over to you, and you shall do to them according to all the command which I have commanded you. Be strong and courageous, do not fear, nor be afraid of them. For it is Yahovah your Elohim who is going with you. He does not fail you, nor forsake you. And Moshe called Yehoshua, and said to him before the eyes of all Yisrael, Be strong and courageous, for you are going with this people to the land which Yahovah has sworn to their fathers to give them, and you are to let them inherit it. And it is Yahovah who is going before you. He himself is with you. He does not fail you, nor forsake you. Do not fear, nor be discouraged. And Moshe wrote this Torah, and gave it to the priest, the sons of Levi, who bore the ark of the covenant of Yahovah, and to all the elders of Yisrael. And Moshe commanded them, saying, At the end of 7 years, at the appointed time, the year of release of the festival of Sukkot, when all Yisrael comes to appear before Yahovah your Elohim, in the place which he chooses, read this Torah before all Yisrael in their hearing. Assemble the people, the men and the women and the little ones, and your sojourner who is within your gates, so that they hear and so that they learn to fear Yahovah your Elohim, and guard to do all the words of this Torah. And their children who have not known it should hear and learn to fear Yahovah your Elohim, as long as you live in the land you are possessing over the Yarden to possess. And Yahovah said to Moshe, See, the days have drawn near for you to die. Call Yehoshua and present yourselves in the tent of appointment, so that I command him. And Moshe and Yehoshua went and presented themselves in the tent of appointment. And Yahovah appeared at the tent in a column of a cloud, and the column of a cloud stood above the door of the tent. And Yahovah said to Moshe, See, you are about to sleep with your fathers, and this people shall rise and whore after other mighty ones of the strangers of the land, into the midst of which they shall enter, and forsake me, and break my covenant which I have made with them. Then my displeasure shall burn against them in that day, and I shall forsake them, and hide my face from them, and they shall be consumed. And many evils and distresses shall come upon them. And it shall be in that day, it shall be said in that day, Is it not because our Elohim is not in our midst that these evils have come upon us? And I shall certainly hide my face in that day because of all the evil which they have done, for they shall turn to other mighty ones. And now write down this song for yourselves, and teach it to the children of Yisrael. Put it in their mouths, so that this song is to me for a witness against the children of Yisrael. And I shall bring them to the land flowing with milk and honey, of which I swore to their fathers, and they shall eat and be satisfied and be fat. Then they shall turn to other mighty ones, and they shall serve them and scorn me and break my covenant. And it shall be, when many evils and distresses come upon them, that this song shall answer before them as a witness, for it is not to be forgotten in the mouths of their seed, for I know their thoughts which they are forming today, even before I bring them to the land which I swore to give them. And Moshe wrote this song the same day and taught it to the children of Israel. And he commanded Yehoshua, son of Nun, and said, Be strong and courageous, for you are to bring the children of Israel into the land of which I swore to them, and I myself am with you. And it came to be, when Moshe had completed writing the words of this Torah in a book until their completion, that Moshe commanded the Levites, who bore the ark of the covenant of Yahovah, saying, Take this book of Torah, and you shall place it beside the ark of the covenant of Yahovah your Elohim, and it shall be there as a witness against you. For I myself know your rebellion and your stiff neck. See, while I still live with you today, you have been rebellious against Yahovah. Then how much more after my death? Assemble unto me all the elders of your tribes and your officers, so that I speak these words in their hearing, and call the heavens and the earth to witness against them. For I know that after my death you shall do very corruptly, and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you. And evil shall come to you in the latter days, because you do what is evil in the eyes of Yahovah, to provoke him through the work of your hands. So Moshe spoke in the hearing of all the assembly of Israel the words of this song till their completion. And we're going to go to Hosea, if I can find it. I'm going to read the entire chapter. O Yisrael, return to Yahovah your Elohim, for you have stumbled by your crookedness. Take words with you and return to Yahovah. Say to him, Take away all crookedness and accept what is good, and we render the bulls of our lips. Ashashur does not save us. We do not ride on horses, nor ever again do we say to the work of our hands, our mighty ones, for the fatherless finds compassion in you. I shall heal their backsliding. I shall love them spontaneously, for my displeasure has turned away from him. I shall be like the dew to Israel. He shall blossom like the lily and strike out his roots like Lebanon. His branches shall spread, and his splendor shall be like an olive tree, and his fragrance like Lebanon. Those who dwell under his shadow shall return. They shall revive like grain, and blossom like the wine, and become as fragrant as the wine of Lebanon. What more has Ephraim to do with idols? It is I who answer and look after him. I am like a green cypress tree. Your fruit comes from me. Who is wise and understands these words, discerning and who knows them? For the ways of Yahovah are straight, and the righteous walk in them, but the transgressors stumble in them. Now Micah chapter 7, verses 18, 19, and 20. Who is an El like you, taking away crookedness and passing over the transgression of the remnant of his inheritance? He shall not retain his wrath forever, for he himself delights in loving commitment. He shall turn back. He shall have compassion on us. He shall trample upon our crookedness. And you throw all our sins into the depths of the sea. You give truth to Jacob, loving commitment to Abraham, which you swore to our fathers, from the days of old. Now Yoel, chapter 2, verses 15 through 27. Blow a shofar in Sion, set apart a fast, call an assembly. Gather the people, set the assembly apart, assemble the leaders, gather the children and nursing babes. Let a bridegroom come out from his room, and a bride from her dressing room. Let the priest, servants of Yahovah, weep between the porch and the slaughter place, and let them say, Spare your people, O Yahovah, and do not give your inheritance to reproach, for the nations to rule over them. Why should they say among the peoples, Where is their Elohim? And let Yahovah be jealous for his land, and spare his people. And let Yahovah answer and say to his people, See, I am sending you the grain and the new wine and the oil, and you shall be satisfied by them. And no longer do I make you a reproach among the nations. And the northerner I shall remove far from you, and drive him away into a dry and deserted land, with his face toward the eastern sea, and his rear toward the western sea. And his stench shall come up, and his smell rise for he has done greatly. Do not fear, O soil, be glad and rejoice, for Yahovah has done greatly. Do not fear, you beast of the field, for the pastures of the wilderness shall spring forth, and the tree shall bear its fruit, the fig tree and the vine shall yield their strength. And you, children of Sion, be glad and rejoice in Yahovah your Elohim, for he shall give you the teacher of righteousness, and cause the rain to come down for you, the former rain and the latter rain as before. And the threshing floors shall be filled with grain, and the vats shall overflow with new wine and oil. Then I shall repay you the years that the swarming locust has eaten, the crawling locust, and the consuming locust, and the gnawing locust, my great army, which I sent among you. Then you shall eat and be satisfied, and shall praise the name of Yahovah your Elohim, who has done with you so wondrously, and my people shall never be put to shame. And you shall know that I am in the midst of Yisrael, and that I am Yahovah your Elohim, and there is no one else. And my people shall never be put to shame.